Hello everybody, it's Narrative Tarot. I'm here with July for Pluto, the tarot reading. Comment, subscribe to the channel. Blah, blah, blah. I do monthly readings by planets and other things. Life's just been kind of busy and I've just been like, no. But these monthlies. So there's only 10 monthlies. I don't do zodiac signs, although if you have significant like Scorpio in your chart, 8th house energy, then go for it. But this is primarily for Pluto. But yeah, so let's get into it. I'm using Tarot of the Cat People, and it's gonna be a pretty simple kind of thing. So yeah, that's a message. One message. Queen of Cups. So we are in Cancer season. Jupiter, I think, is still in Pisces. Mercury's in Cancer, I believe. What's going on here? Two of Cups. And I kind of feel like there is some reckoning with the psyche that's happening for you guys with Pluto. How was that Pluto moon conjunction that was happening with the full moon? How was that? I think Saturn is kind of lingering around there too. So yeah, I think for everybody it was a time of just kind of realizing things that make you happy, things that push you forward, whether it's being with other people, like projects, living, exploring, eating, just things you like to do. I kind of feel like it was a good time. This tiger keeps showing up. Is it a tiger? Yeah. I have to do a video on that. So it's gonna be a prediction video. So stay tuned with that. I'll probably link it when I finally do it. But I do feel like a lot of stuff is coming out. If you're interested in ancient Egyptian kind of stuff, cats in general, understanding what that means, understanding the feline nature, understanding, I don't want to say the sensuality of cats, but I feel like there's some sort of sensuality related to that. So explore it. I think it's a great time. You may be getting a cat or finding a cat or bonding or a cat cartoon or something like that. Could be a really good time. 3 cards. You got 3 of Pentacles, Hangman, 5 of Wands. So I would say moving, mental gymnastics, things like that. Don't talk yourself out of stuff, into stuff, but particularly out of stuff that's positive. And don't talk yourself into boxes that you think that you should fit in because of something. Don't let other people do that to you either. When there's silence and stuff like that, it's the silence before you get to your dreams and stuff like that. Don't fill it with BS, because with this Hanged Man energy, because you're sitting there, you could be particularly vulnerable to negative self-talk or negative looping or something like that. Be very mindful of the stuff that you're consuming. For you, you may have a really delicate digestive system. Child, I don't. Really delicate, so you may not want to eat certain foods. I have the Lovers. I think body-wise, it's a good time to work out, but I feel more diet-wise, eating things that are kind of fresh, eating things that are made with love, eating things that are from places that you like and enjoy. So I would say with this 5 of Wands and this Hanged Man, the survivalist mentality may not be the best for July, just because you're not necessarily like struggling. Yeah, because we have 5 of Cups. If you find yourself in survivalist mentality, like really sit there and examine what you need and what you want and what you're willing to, like, with this 3 of Pentacles, work and buy on. So this would be a great time for Pluto to do a thorough clear out of their like budgeting, of their numbers, of where they're spending time, of where they're, you know, like going to those places and like just sitting there and like feeling the energy of it. Have the 7 of Wands and making a good decision. Well, not good decision, but making an executive decision, so to speak, on that place, right? Because like you can make these decisions, but follow through on them. So if you visit places like restaurants and things like that and you're unsure, like really sit down. Presentation, smell, your senses, taste, you know, it makes a difference. And I feel like the farther you go along, I think, I've been saying this, but I think the Sun, Pluto, and kind of Saturn conjunct is going to be like, there's going to be some like major realizations about lifestyle and society perhaps, and what you've been doing and how to transform and move. And I think that you have the 8 of Wands. Getting this stuff kind of clear will help you move forward like a lot. So make sure that you're taking notes about things that make you feel blasé, that make you feel unloved, like the full spectrum of emotions. Because I feel like the thing with Scorpio, like, because people always talk about like the deep, dark emotions, like, you know, 6 of Wands, what about the lighter emotions, the emotions that make you feel like intense pleasure, as far as like it's a visceral reaction, but like not obsessive, but just you can consume it in a way that's healthy. You can consume it in a way that's healthy, and you can see its beauty for what it is without wanting to possess it, as opposed to being in that position where not necessarily want to control it, but there's an obsession with aspects of it. Like I feel like you shouldn't get so tied down to positions and aspects. I think if you like it, you like it. I think this isn't the time to explore the deeper kind of things. And that may be contradictory, but it's like, I think wait a little bit, just a little bit. I think the Cancer Mercury is making it feel good, and you have to kind of go on emotions. I kind of feel like Plutonian energy is quite logical, actually. And not saying like ditch logic, but what I'm saying is just like, if you feel something, it's probably on point. And it's a straight shot into whatever you're feeling, and that's fine. And I think you should trust the straight shot instead of putting a lot of conditions around it as to why, because like honestly no one gives a shit. And you may be trying to offer up, that's like a dispenser of fragrance, that's stupid. And I told my grandma that, and she was like, no it's not, it's stupid. And like the fragrance isn't even that good, like it kind of stinks. But feeling like you have to explain yourself to people, and I think that that's not necessarily something you need to do. I feel like with this, like, you don't have to explain yourself, but you also don't have to be that person that takes like months of introspection either. I kind of feel like Scorpio sometimes complicates things and triangulates a whole bunch of shit that really doesn't need to be triangulated. Like, simplicity is kind of what you need to do. So be a lot more simple about it, you know? So you don't have to explain anything. What you feel is what you feel. Act on your instincts and things like that. They're pretty spot on. It's a good time to evaluate things like budget and whatnot, but not necessarily a time where you have to, like I said, do a lot of deep diving work. I think that paying attention to space, paying attention to transitionals kind of stuff is important. Pay attention to those gaps and don't try to fill them. So you have 2 swords cards, Page of Swords, King of Swords, Wheel of Fortune. Some things are changing. So there may just be some aspects of self that are coming out that are fuller expressions. You may not have the emotional range that you think, or the emotional range that you, I want this one, the Chariot. It's like the emotional range that you have can only take you so far. No. And it's almost like with this page, this card like swiveled. Looks like, phew. So we have the Empress, and it kind of feels like this is the same like emotion, but like amplify on a grander scale. It's like the younger version of grief at 15 is talking to the version of grief at like 35. And there's certain aspects and stuff like that, and there's certain changes that have happened, that have come up, that are making themselves known. And it's like don't try to get caught up in which one is like better, which one is superior. Like it's all grief. You know, like Justice. There is a need to kind of just, I think, weigh it out. Don't battle with the self. Pluto is pretty, I don't want to say unaffected. You have the 3 of Wands again. I kind of feel like Pluto is very, not unaspected, but, and then the World, quite unaffected. I do think there's going to be some stuff later on in the year that kind of happens, but I feel like you've started to feel it just a bit, but it's not time to act so much on it. Actually, because of that Hanged Man, yeah, there might be a need for just spiritual protection at this time. I think that the 8th house Scorpio energy is it opposing? Is Pluto opposing anything right now? Oh, Pluto's going to be opposing the sun. So just make sure with your mind, make sure that people aren't, you don't feel like people are taking cheap shots at you, or trying to fuck with you at work, or you're gonna have to like clean out that like that thinking about stuff like that, because what could happen with this Ace of Swords, the Chariot, Empress, stuff like that, like you could start a lot of drama that doesn't need to be there. And you do with this Justice and this 2 Wands need to be a little bit balanced. Now somebody, I don't know who it is, but somebody at your job could totally lose their shit over something very minute, and it just like does them in or whatever. But Six of Wands, it's ultimately for the best. I think that the blank space for them meant like, and so moving on, moving forward is something that is needed and necessary. You might decide to leave. You might decide to go for better things with this 4 of Swords, 9 of Pentacles. Go on for better things. I think you need to spiritually protect yourself if you're going to project yourself into the future, like, you know, what you want and stuff like that. Like, set the intention that there's protection there as well. So, you know, I can do Reiki, and so you can send Reiki into like the future, into a different time and space. But for you, just with Three of Pentacles again, making sure that you're sending energy that you can use, that you can feel, and that you allow yourself to feel, right? Because you made, with this Ace of Wands, you made way for it. And now you need to receive it. So don't clutter yourself with all of this shit so you can't receive it and then complain that like you can't receive it. Open yourself up enough to project that energy out. I say when you get pings, emotional pings and stuff like that, listen, but don't like I said, try to fill in all the gaps. Like the ping is a straight shot. It's as deep as you're going to get. It's the purest form. You got the Eight of Cups and Four of Wands again. It's the straight shot, the purest form of whatever it is. And you can feel those emotions if you have timelines that need to be closed up, particularly because of transformation is happening. With that Sun opposed Pluto, it might be things that are coming up visually, like not visually, but you can see them. Nine of Swords, you can see them, or you, because this is a somatic deck for me, you might be feeling a little bit of unease as though something is coming to get you. It is, but it's something that is related to your growth and success and your ability to flow and to just be the person who makes decisions in your own life as opposed to them being made for you. So a lot of standing in power, but necessary rest, introspection, discernment. Three of Cups. And just make sure you stay away from like serious alcohol with Four of Pentacles, because it could bring out aspects of yourself. And just make sure that you're sharing yourself with the world, because you're putting that energy out. If you're very stingy about the energy, don't expect anything to come back. So there it is, Pluto. There it is. I will talk to you guys. And you got the Six of Cups last. This is too much. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.